We gonna pay them?
I know. Call the Scottsboro work session Monday, September 16th. The order, the invitation given by Gary Stewart, the pledge of allegiance given by Mike Ashburn.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the very many blessings you've given us. We ask that you'll watch over these proceedings and they'll be pleasing in your sight. Please watch over the employees and citizens of Scottsboro as the citizens of this great nation. Watch over our military, bring them home safely to their families. Guard, guide, and direct us so in the end we all come to thee. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is to discuss the shared sales tax used for economic development, the Hutton Group. Jamie.
We're here to talk about the proposal. Been here before. Remember, if you guys met about the traffic safety improvements. We've progressed the deal now, and we'd like to present you guys with a proposal. There's really two options. It's in the form of a sales tax rebate or sales tax sharing agreement. It would help facilitate bringing this project to fruition. The two options that we are here to talk about today and present today, it's a $4 million annual sales producer, and the two proposals in front of you. The first is a one-time lump sum payment of $350,000 upon opening of said user. The second option would be the sales tax sharing over a period of 4 years. There are 4 separate payments that occur each year, staggered payments. The net of those, taking to the time value of money, would result in $460,000 in total payments over the course of 4 years. Those are the two options on the table today that will facilitate advancing the project. We're here to answer any questions you may have, give you any insight we can about the project. Excited to be here again. Hope to be able to bring this economic development project to your community. We have handouts too. I don't know if you guys have
We've got these.
What other cities have done incentives that are basically the same style as Scottsboro?
Sure, yeah. Most recent example is probably Silicaca, Alabama. We did a large retail project there. Hobby Lobby, Anchor Shopping Center, Hobby Lobby, TJ Maxx. Every project that Jamie and I have done together now over the course of the last 4 years have had some shape or form of public-private partnership. They come in a variety of different forms, but as far as Alabama specifically, a very large project in Mobile, Alabama, structured on a similar type structure, but again, much larger project. Silicaca on a smaller scale, roughly about 120,000 square feet, several out parcel users as well. We're in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee.
A little closer to home, Albertville. The shops in Albertville, that was a large public-private partnership between the city of Albertville and GBT out of Nashville, and then I think most recently the Starbucks development over on 431 in front of Walmart and Red Barn Road.
This is based on state 772 amendment, where it allows the shared sales tax for you to correct.
Right. Very similar to the arrangement that you guys did to bring in, I guess the redevelopment of the Kmart box.
Is this a standalone, or is there other stores going to be affiliated with it?
First phase would be a standalone, freestanding fast food. There's potential to come back in front of you with a second opportunity, a larger scale project. The first phase that we're here to talk about today is just a standalone project.
So So tax break, that go franchisees, that go developer? If you-
I'm sorry, say that again.
The tax break that you're asking for, does it go to you, the developer, or
It's
does it go to the
a way-
franchisee?
It goes to the developer, it's a mechanism to fund, to in essence, bridge the gap between a financeable and investable project and a non-financeable and non-investable project. So this is a tool that the state of Alabama affords you with the opportunity to enhance economic development. And this is how you bridge that gap, funnel the difference to bring the project to fruition. Without this, the project simply does not have the investable criteria to move forward.
So if we get this one restaurant in, then no one else builds, that's what you get
Yes,
your money from.
this is 100% for this first phase standalone project. You know, the numbers that you have in front of you show the payback is well in excess of the annual sales tax, again, on conservative assumptions of $4 million in annual sales, starting assumption. That generates over the course of 4 years, $517,000 in annual sale, or total sales tax over the course of 4 years.
Have we ever given a franchisee a tax break? This is what counts for.
Gunnels is a franchise, and they received $500,000.
A restaurant franchise.
I'm not aware of it.
The other time that we've gone to 772 has been in the two phases that were done at the where Dunham's in that area is. 772 was done in both cases. The town of Section just used 772 to do a Jack's
Yes.
this month and a half ago.
And this structure, the proposal you have in front of you is based loosely around the structure of the Dunham's and the Ollie's redevelopment project. So we structured around that existing agreement that was in place in the effort again to bridge that gap to bring this project to fruition.
And the two options are a function of working with you guys and through Mayor Shelton and trying to come up with a couple of different options.
You don't have any figures on how this impacted other restaurants?
I know, Mayor, you've talked to
We
several.
reached out to 7 municipalities that have done something similar. I didn't bring that information. I know we met, you and Mr. Bailey, we met and discussed it and shared success from those different cities.
Yeah, historically what we found is that development begets more development, so you're starting to facilitate the catalytic effects. You bring in this user, it starts to enhance the overall quality of the environment and brings in future opportunities. Again, we do anticipate being back in front of you with the second phase of this project, would be new, larger development, but this is, in essence, the engine that starts the project moving forward.
Any other questions? You have anything? You have anything, Larry?
No, nothing else. So, question, Mr. Kinnemer, something of this nature, if the council chooses to move forward, paperwork, what, 2 to 3 month period?
Yes, sir. The council would need to pass the agreement. The city would then go to court to get a validation, which takes a period of time, so it would be several month process.
Yes.
Can you get us a list of how it impacted the other stores?
I will, they were,
Get that to the other council members, please.
I will.
Thank you for
Thank you,
your
guys.
time. If you have any questions,
Appreciate it.
everyone has our contact, happy to answer any additional questions in the comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to item number 2, tourism grant application for Scottsboro High School Band Boosters.
We are asking for $4,000 in the tourism grant. You guys gave us $3,000 last year. It was very helpful. In the last 2 years, we went from 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000. The first year, we were able to purchase 99 new uniforms. We still need to purchase additional. They have not had new uniforms in 13 years. Last year, we had a profit, we estimated at around 15,000. We were able to purchase some additional uniforms. We were able to repair and replace band items that had not been replaced in multiple years. We got all new drum stands that were totally not functioning. We also were able to give to the auxiliary and the Collins band, which just got started because they didn't have anything for the Collins band and the junior high band to support them. We still need garment bag protectors, hat boxes, and additional band replacement and repair. So we were asking for an additional 4,000. We had approximately 1,700 people through the gate last year, and that's considering that we had horrible weather last year. We had 20 bands last year. Right now we have 8 registered, but we have verbal commitments on additionals. We're hoping for 25 bands this year.
That's on October the 19th.
Yes, sir. Always the 3rd week in October.
Does anyone have any questions? Did you sign up also in the delegation? This will cover that.
Yeah, we turned in our paperwork last week.
Any questions?
I do know there was an insurgence of people from out of town as well. I've heard from one particular business, which was unclaimed baggage, that they had a large amount of people coming in the day of the band competition.
I don't guess there's any questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item was discuss the bond refunding. I know Brad had come up here last week and we voted to, or I wasn't here, but y'all voted to refinance the bonds, and it saved us $362,000 that we're going to be able to use, and I wanted to discuss using that on paving. I know we've had several meetings and budgeted some money for it, but we haven't started on any projects, and I know that Parks Avenue is one of them that we had not allocated any money. Correct, Josh?
No.
Or Mayor?
That's a bond issue. We had agreed that project's coming out of the bond issue.
Okay. But we haven't started any of the paving, so I was wanting to see if we could utilize some of this money on paving.
I've got, number 5, I've got some streets to discuss.
Is that off our list? Is that off our original list?
It is.
Okay.
The only street that we added, and I don't mean to jump ahead.
No, we can go to number 5.
But you've got in your packet, when we get to street paving, there's, we had these 4 streets listed. Beach, which is off Parks Avenue, Forest, Dean, David, and Bruce is an extension of David. And then Brown Street was the addition that I think Mike had asked, since DHR is relocating to the Brownwood School, look at it. And so Josh did an estimate on it today. But 4 of these 5 were on next year's list as we had looked at, over the next 3 years, and so those come to $263,000.
I know we're waiting also on some sort of grant for, did we hear anything back on that?
We will hear next month. First of November.
Yeah.
But that's a project, he's preparing the paperwork, that's got to go out for bid either way.
And that'll be first of next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not grant.
it's not.
Yes.
So on this wiregrass construction on these roads, did they ever give us a date when they would be able to start?
We just had,
issue a PO, they would put it in their schedule.
Get in line.
Yes, sir.
Any
The,
ETA on any?
Parks is supposed to be the second week in October. That's the only one we've got scheduled right now, Parks.
Parks is, to bring you up to date on, Parks is 135,436, and the bridge was 517, so you're looking at around 653,000 for Parks for the paving and the bridge work. And we had done loosely talked about $1 million when we did that bond issue for the bridge and all at the time.
I just know we need some roads paved.
Sure.
People are asking a lot of questions, and we
Well,
have to
basically,
move forward on any of it.
yes,
Well, I got to put on Snodgrass again. I know those roads are horrible. They are, people trying to travel them every day. Is there something we can do to try to put a Band-Aid on those, or we filling in the holes, or, you know, to try to help to get us through next year? Because now we put it off pretty much. I know I get a lot of complaints.
And we can do cold mix, but it's, you know, it's just gonna be continuous cold mix.
Yeah.
We don't have any operation to do plant mix. It'd be strictly cold mix, which is just a Band-Aid, you know.
Yeah. Well, anything, you know, that would help that, but it's just a thought.
Mr. President, how much money were we gonna get back from that bond, did you say?
$362,000.
So that would more than cover this additional street paving in
Yeah.
19.
I'd like to put that on next week's agenda. Approve those roads with this money. I don't have any objections.
My only question is, if that refund can't be used for roads.
on the bond, it can, it's capital projects.
Okay.
Yes,
Good question, Coach.
yes, sir, it can.
Any other questions? If not, we'll revert back to, we covered 3 and 5, so we'll go to 4. Discuss the service truck for vehicle maintenance. You want to cover that?
Yeah. You should have in your packet, vehicle maintenance is requesting to replace a service truck. Some of us had talked about it last week, but there's a J.M. Wood, which is the state auction, has a bid that starts tomorrow and runs 3 days. And we've identified 3 different trucks, they're all the same, that they want to be able to bid on. And so what we were asking is to set aside $50,000, sort of like we did with the dump truck, and then if we are a successful bidder for less than $50,000, then we would get a PO signed by 3 council members, and then next Monday night authorize the exact amount. But they're wanting the ability to bid at auction that starts tomorrow for a service truck. And I think in here you've got the truck shown on the top page of what we want to replace. It's a 1995 model, and then pictures of the 3 service trucks. And these trucks are loaded. You know, they come with a air compressor, a crane that they could use to lift the truck if they need to remove a tire or something. It comes with a welder. Already it's got, you know, these are state service trucks that have been surplus.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this truck the one that they have that can't even get up July Mountain?
Yeah. You're correct. You know, we need a service truck for our service truck.
We'll put that on next week's agenda.
But what we're asking for is can we do that? Authorize, and then, but the actual money would be next week.
Can't really wink, nod, I'm afraid.
So we can't bid.
They don't have, there's nothing left in any fund that they have.
Sales tax. No.
But we'd have to.
I mean, it's a work session.
It's a work session. If they had money in their operations account,
No.
then it would not be an issue.
We can't appropriate any money in the work session.
How long does this auction go for? 3 days. Got left off last week. We'll just keep searching.
We would like to
Put aside some money, if we can find one.
We'll put it on next week's agenda to talk about it, okay? Go to item number 6. Ms. Phillips.
It's time to do our annual bid for the Recreation Department for cleaning. We posted 1 bid, mailed 4 bids, and received 1 bid. Custer's Cleaning Service bid $110 a day. We would actually like to reject these bids and negotiate since we only received 1 bid. This is more than the proposed budgeted amount.
Any questions on that? To reject that? Just resubmit. Go to item number 7, discuss the pool chemical bids. Ms. Phillips.
We posted 1 bid, mailed 2 bids, and received 1 bid for the pool chemicals. Anders Pool Company. You can see their bid results on there's 11 items. So we recommend that they be awarded the bid.
Put that on next one. Go to item number 8, discuss fuel bids. Ms. Phillips.
We posted 1 bid, mailed 4 bids, and received 4 bids for the fuel for the city. Petroleum Traders Corporation bid .062 cents above cost on the 87, 89, and number 2 diesel fuel, but they did not include taxes and fees in the bid. So the next lowest was Valley Oil Company at .067 cents above cost on all 87 octane, 89, and number 2 diesel fuel. So we recommend awarding it to Valley Oil Company.
Any questions on that?
Can we put this off till we, I guess, do some research on this Valley Oil Company? Can we put that on, I'll put it on the agenda.
No, that's all I need then. So give me some more time. I know what I want to.
Well, I'd like to see the history of that.
So they got some references.
Sure, I will go back to the bid.
We did have business with Valley before, as a city.
I don't remember.
We should.
The Jet Oil has it currently,
That's had it for
and they've had it for at least 2 years, if not longer than that.
Any other questions? We'll put it off till the next work session. Item number 9, discuss oil bids. Ms. Phillips.
We posted 1 bid, mailed 3 bids, and received 2 bids for the oil. It's recommended that the bid be awarded to the McPherson Company as the lowest responsible bidder.
We'll put that on next week's agenda. No more questions. Go to item number 10, discuss recycling facility bids. Jim, you want to cover this, or Mayor?
Well, we have put out, as we've discussed at our solid waste authority meeting about adding on to the existing Baylor building, a recycling building, and then up on the concrete slab beside the Baylor building, creating a dry storage area. And then the third building was the equipment shed to move all of our existing trucks and hopefully new trucks that we got ordered coming in the future, putting those in the dry when they're not on the road. And so we opened bids today. Whitney can go over those, but that's the three different quotes you see. The only thing we don't have is we entered into an agreement with the engineer for the suspended floor in the Baylor building, and then the slab for the addition to the Baylor building. We haven't gotten those prices yet.
But the engineering cost, was that 7,000? 5,000.
5,200, I think, exactly, to do the, because we had to have an engineer drawing for that suspended floor in the Baylor building.
So that's 5,200 and
Yeah, and that floor gives us another 1,500 feet of storage in that building.
It's just design.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
We're waiting on that number, correct?
correct.
No. Correct me, is this, we had this in the budget meeting the other night, did we not discuss some of those?
Good. Yes.
We posted 2 bids, we mailed 4 bids and received 3 bids for the recycling facility additions. PNC Construction, total bid was $192,382. Toller Construction's total bid was $216,058. And Sam Construction's total bid was $368,900.
So based on this, we go with PNC.
Yes,
They recommend.
correct. We propose to take that out of bond.
We'll put it on next week's agenda. Go to item number 11, discuss the budget amendment for solid waste department. I don't have a number 11.
When we had, I drew a blank. When we had our budget meeting the other night with solid waste, we talked about the need to repair the compactor, the baler itself. We had spent some money this past year rebuilding where the hydraulic seals were and everything. Now the ram, we need to rebuild the other half of it. And so what we had discussed, Stacy had gotten some quotes, but we had discussed setting aside $40,000 out of this year's sales tax and carrying it forward for the repairs once we got firm quotes from people, because it would be in next fiscal year. So we had recommended or discussed in the budget meeting to carry over $40,000 of sales tax for that, and then $10,000 to be set aside for replacing when it fails HVAC unit at the house at the landfill, on the landfill property.
Okay.
So it's a total of $50,000 to be reserved from this year's sales tax for next year's projects technically.
Okay. Any questions on that? I remember all that now.
Yeah.
I just didn't have.
It took me a second too.
Any other questions? We'll put that on next week's agenda. Number 12, discuss knuckle booms.
We had been in contact with Lee Smith, and we got that confirmed again. If we order 2 more trucks, which would give us a total of 5 new ones, the trucks have gone up. The last one was right at 142, the 3 that we ordered back in the spring. got a new quote, and this is through the Sourcewell. Same truck is $150,314. And so what we're asking is to go ahead and get 2 more trucks on order, because it'll be a March delivery on those. It's a good 6-month lead time.
So this is the same model that we
It's the
ordered?
exact same trucks. We looked at a larger truck, and Lee Smith, when they quoted a larger engine and so forth, but the knuckle boom and the bed was exactly the same, and it was $12,000 more, and the men, Wayne and Terry, they felt like that was not a good use of funds, so they want to stay with the same truck.
Any questions?
And it's a Peterson thing.
All these trucks are the same size, right?
Yes, sir. That's good.
I know we talked about it briefly the other night, as far as leasing these small trucks.
There's not a good residual on these trucks. And so what we had discussed is just doing a 5-year financing, straight 5-year finance on these trucks. A larger truck, which the guys feel like are overkill for our city streets, are just too big. They do have a higher resale as far as, with timber companies and all that, but it's just a bigger truck than we need.
So my bad, as far as the lease, it wasn't.
It was like 40% residual after 2 years, and that wasn't a good number.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yes.
If it had been a decent
Yeah.
number,
Well, the
I
garbage,
mean, that's the main, they get a few
yeah,
years.
like a roll-off, you got a good residual. The garbage truck, I think, quite at Stacy, they said it didn't have a good residual right now.
The sidearms.
Side-offs, yeah.
And I understand why those are used so much.
So this would be a delivery date of March for the truck, and then it has to get.
No, that's going to Florida for the Peterson boom put on it. It would go down there, they take about 2 months just on their side. It would be going down there the first of the year, that's what they said.
Any other discussion?
I want to see where the money's coming from, because I know we're financing another 3, right? So we're going to finance 2 more?
Well, in January, we're also getting back, off that other bond, $300,000. So we could, this capital, instead of financing, we could, do a straight purchase.
I'd like to look at doing that more than financing 5 trucks.
Sure.
Does that get them all replaced?
It does.
Any other discussion? We'll put it on next week's agenda. We can discuss where the money's coming from.
Right.
Let's go to delegation. Billy Jack Kirby. Yes, sir.
I'm here tonight to represent the people of Cecil Street. We have 13 houses on Cecil Street. All of them have to back out to the driveways, none of them come out. And before I get into that, I'd like to ask you all about the October the 3rd, 2012 application to the state of Alabama to fund Porter Road so that you could do away with the truck traffic and get it off of Cecil Street. And at the meeting last week, I asked a couple of the members if any of you had seen Mr. Gary Stewart said he had not seen it. I'd like to ask all of you if you had reviewed the application to the state of Porter Road.
I
didn't receive that till about the time I got here.
Okay. Prior to your vote, you had not seen it. Okay. Mr. Stewart? You had not seen it?
I saw it on Facebook.
You were on the council at that time.
It was covered, but I had not, it was covered with us.
Okay. Greg?
I seen it when you give it to me,
Okay.
so I have it with you.
All right. Very good.
That's all I'm gonna say is.
Okay. All right. Well, according to it, the primary purpose, it says right here, for the road to be upgraded is for it to be used as a truck route and to definitely get it off of Cecil Street. It mentions that in there several times. And it says, and is the primary purpose of this project. So, we, the people of Cecil Street, respectfully request that the council reconsider their decision of naming our street as the official truck route. The application to the state for the grant money to upgrade Porter Road says that the primary purpose for asking for the grant was the diversion of the truck traffic away from Cecil Street. Yet you did the opposite of that in your vote the other day. I have a letter signed by each of the residents of that for me to be here representing them tonight. In fact, I have one that I called on the door and didn't know it today, and asked her if she would sign the letter. She said, absolutely. They totaled my van with a trailer truck on that. I want to know it also at this particular time. I talked with the city engineer today about the traffic on Porter Road. Had they done a study of it? He said yes, on December the 17th, or December the 7th. There was 1,671 vehicles traveling Porter Road. On Cecil Street, on 4/50/2015, there was 4,252. Of that amount, there was 386 trucks. On Porter Road, there was 110. I can't understand how that we could vote to put all the traffic down Cecil Street when the city request to do Porter Road was done. Then one day this week, I saw a truck going up Broad Street. I said, well, they go fast. Well, I thought it would get to the city hall right here. Went Apple Tree Street, turned on it. Went down, he wanted to turn on Houston, but he couldn't. So he went on in front of Roosevelt, went on down that road, had to slow down real bad. Some little lady trying to get by, she finally did. They got to Cedar Hill Drive, had to stop all the traffic there and pull out. It's just not going to work. You need to make Porter Road what you asked for, and let's get it done, and you won't have all these people going up and getting a $500 fine for being off of the truck route. So I hope that y'all will all reconsider that. Mr. Kilmer, I'd like to ask you.
Well, Mr. Kirby, it's really not your place to ask the council or me anything. Your job in the delegation is to present information and then ask you questions.
Okay.
But what I will tell you is this: the city council for the city never approved that 1995 money. And notice it's not signed by the council. It's signed by the then mayor.
it's the same as mine.
But it takes the council's action to make it official for the city. And there was a dispute between the mayor and the council at that time as to where the appropriate
Well,
route should be.
I won't ask you any questions then, since I'm not supposed to. But
But I'm happy to meet you after.
But I'm gonna tell you this, that I don't believe that Mr. Cooper with the state would be happy with you not doing what you asked him to do. So, unless you got some questions, that's all I've got. Thank
Anyone
you.
have anything? Next is Robbie Copenhaver.
Excuse my appearance, I got a little out of control and I was having so much fun in 100-degree heat working in the yard. So anyway, I was wanting to come and speak about the Hutton development. And you know, I've been in the restaurant business for 42 years, and in Scottsboro 42 years actually. And there's a lot of restaurants in this town, and anybody can project any dollar amount you think you're going to do. Okay, anybody can do that. I've seen a lot of restaurants open up, including Cap D's throughout the country. They project what they're going to do, and they don't do it. And there's a restaurant right here in town that hadn't been open very long. They projected to do a high volume. They're not doing nothing at all right now. There's restaurants that's closed here because they projected to do X amount of money, and they didn't do it. Now, this particular restaurant's projecting to do $4 million. Are they going to guarantee $4 million a year? And the thing about restaurant and fast food restaurants, I'm just going to throw out an arbitrary number. Let's say the restaurants in Scottsboro, Alabama do $15 million. Or let's say they do $20 million a year, all the restaurants combined. You bring in another restaurant, you think it's going to increase? It doesn't increase whatsoever. The same people that eat out on the first week of the month, eat out on the second week and other people eat out on the second week of the month. They're all different people. You go to a restaurant on the first of the month, those people you'll never see the rest of the month because they can't afford it. There's only a certain number of people that eat out. No other restaurant, I don't care if it's Chick-fil-A, I don't care if it's Hooters, I don't care what it is. There's only a certain amount of people that come and eat and go out to eat in a month's time, especially in Scottsboro, Alabama. Now, am I worried about Chick-fil-A? I'm not worried about any restaurant coming to town. I've got a Chick-fil-A in every city that I'm in all 7 cities. That doesn't bother me who it is. What bothers me is that we will spend money, $350,000, $400,000, I don't know what you're giving them. And I don't know what the deal is. But the problem is that there's a lot of restaurants in this town that haven't been given a thing. Not one dime. Now, if you want to add how much money the restaurants like me, Hardee's, the old-time restaurants, how much sales tax have we paid in this town? Figure it up. How much we give to the schools? It just blows my mind that you give a company as big as that company, and they say they're going to develop something else, and they're going to develop something else. Anybody can say they're going to develop something else, but if that first thing doesn't work, you think they're going to keep developing? And if the traffic isn't resolved in that area, do you think they're going to develop it? This would be the last place I would put a restaurant. When we moved, you didn't see me go out on that highway. There's too much traffic. There's a lot of things in the restaurant industry you don't do, and a lot of that is right there. But I'm just saying that before you make a decision, think about there's only so much money people spend in the restaurant industry in Scottsboro, Alabama. We're not booming people. Now, if we had a plant come in here, or somebody going to come in here and employ 3,000 people, that might work. But we're not growing. We're not growing at all. If you don't think we're not growing, look how many students are out there at the high school right now. And how many students were there 15 years ago? Look at it and see. Go get the numbers. That means we're not growing. We're going backwards. But you're going to affect restaurants in this town. I'll be affected. I don't worry about being affected. It's how you run your business, or whether or not you're going to be affected a long time. If you run it right, you'll be here. But I don't think it's fair to all the other restaurants, and I haven't spoken to any of them, but I can assure you they're probably thinking the same thing I am, that fast food dollar is only so much. That pie can't be cut so often. And I know for a fact, there's a couple of restaurants in this town right now that are on the verge of not making it. We just had one closed just, what, a month and a half ago. And there's a couple just that are barely making it. You need to go around and visit all your restaurant franchisees in town and ask them. Cash is tight this time of year. This whole economy right now is tough in the restaurant industry in a lot of different areas. But I just ask you to think about it real hard, because there's so much in that pie. And I'm not here because I'm not worried about Chick-fil-A. I'm telling you. I've dealt with them in every city I'm in. So that's not me talking about, I don't want any competition. Hey, competition makes me better, makes our whole company better. But I just think, don't go on as projections, because projections are just a number. And I've seen a lot of people go on projections, good friends of mine, that opened a restaurant on projection, and they lost it. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. Go to reports, Mayor.
Just a couple of things. Parks Avenue, we talked about it briefly. Bridge, they've done the backfill, still some final touch-ups, paving scheduled in October. Still no traffic. Can't allow I guess you could say the local traffic, because there's about a 4 to 5 inch drop off from asphalt to gravel. It's just not, it'd be worse than the railroad track at Goose Pond, so we just can't allow that right now. That track has been removed, and they have started the paving project from the county line coming towards where the track used to be there at Goose Pond, so that is some relief. Storm shelter's been set at the Boys and Girls Club, a lot across the street. Still working on all the utilities and dress up, but that's going well. That's all I've got right now.
Thank you. Mr. Ashburn.
Just one question, Mr. President. Do we have any more budget meetings scheduled?
I'm getting with Whitney, and she'll send out a agenda for the rest of the month and through October as well.
Okay, all right. Other than that, I don't have anything. Appreciate y'all coming out.
Thank you. Mr. Gary Stewart.
No, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out tonight.
Mr. Mashburn.
Just thank everyone for coming out. That's all.
Mr. Bailey.
Well, I just wanted to tell Chief Dahl, just thank you. You were here last week. Everybody here knows, everybody out there may not know the work you put in with this truck route stuff, and talking with the companies and getting their trucks out of the residential areas, and just appreciate all the work you've done on that. Thank y'all for coming out.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Just to touch on that, I know we haven't perfected the truck route yet. It's obvious they're still getting in the residential areas. I believe once Parks Avenue gets opened up, they were traveling down that. We'll implement hopefully some other direction on that. So, as far as Cecil, they had been traveling down there ever since I was a little kid. That was pretty much always the truck route. But my primary is to make sure that they don't get into residential areas after Parks Avenue is open. And that's what we need to make sure doesn't happen. Because they're getting to the the businesses eventually that's keeping the industries open, so getting the product there. I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. And we'll get the, I know some of you come to the budget meetings, I'll get with Whitney tomorrow, and we'll set up an agenda, and she'll get that sent out in an email, or you can contact her, but she'll have it posted tomorrow afternoon. And that, we're adjourned. Thank you.